See all these books right here? I call it the knowledge bomb. Knowledge. For me personally, of all the books I've ever read on investing, these three are truly the best. And I'm just gonna give you a quick overview one by one and show you where you can find them. I'll also leave links down in the comment section and the description section of this video. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mike. Welcome to Money and Life TV. I am a CPA who produces videos around finances, investing, and taxes. If those are subjects you're interested in and want to learn more about, be sure to follow our channel by subscribing, by hitting that red button below with that little bell notification icon. And if you wouldn't mind, hit that like button because it's gonna help support the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much in advance. And let's start talking about these great books. The first life-changing book I wanna share with you is called Buffettology. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And I'll try to put some B-roll in of different pages from the books or pictures of the books as we go through these one by one. So Buffettology, if you notice the author, is Mary Buffett, it's one of the authors. And that is Warren Buffett's daughter-in-law, or former daughter-in-law, because she was at one point married to his son, Peter. Now, when you're looking for investment books, and I've read a lot of them, and when I'm looking for an investment book, it's hard to find a book, at least from what I found, that not only motivates you to want to be a better investor, but one that truly teaches you something. It truly has the detail, the mathematics, everything that's built into it that to help you apply it so that whereby you can read a book and once you're done with it, read it again and again and again and actually go apply what it has taught you in the real world. And this is one of the books that has accomplished that for me. This book is over 300 pages of examples and mathematical calculations. The book will teach you investing from a business perspective because Warren Buffett, once you learn how he operates, he's not looking to invest with emotion, but rather truly treat each investment like a business decision. The book will show you how to determine your rate of return, which doesn't sound profound at all, but it will show you how to determine your rate of return or project your rate of return before you actually invest in the investment itself, which is a different way of looking at things. Of course, like all great investment books, they mention compounding interest because that's really where the magic of wealth building occurs. The book goes to great lengths to show you how Warren Buffett analyzed companies, how he analyzes their earnings, how he projects their future earnings, the growth rate, the intrinsic value of the companies, and things like that. Calculation after calculation. And I've actually followed these examples that have been shown in the book and they do work. I can contest to that I've tried this myself and I'm very happy with the results. Now, this was the first book that truly taught me how to locate great companies to invest in. While you're going through this book and learning very crucial investing analysis lessons, not only that is you're gonna learn how to pick great companies using those analysis methods, which is I think where the book shines in value. Warren Buffett, there's a chapter in there that covers diversification versus concentration, when it's good, when it's bad. The book is very thorough because not only does it cover investing, but it also touches on inflation and the effect of taxes on your investments and how much of an impact the taxes may have and affecting your overall investment decisions and investment strategy. As I mentioned earlier, there are mathematical examples laid out through the book to help you, but it goes even one step further where it even will display or basically instruct you how to use a financial calculator to determine the different values presented in the book. So it really gives you a thorough education, in my opinion, that 90% plus of investment books do not provide. I was just perusing Amazon to see what this book is currently going for. It looks like you can find a paperback edition of this book on Amazon used roughly 15, 16 bucks, maybe 17 bucks with taxes and shipping at the moment if you're to look it up on Amazon.com. All right, let's move on to the next book. One thing before we get far into the video is I would really like to hear what you guys have to say in terms of what are your favorite investment books? What have you read? If you think of all the books you've read on investing or finances or whatever it may be, what books have really impacted you the most and what would you recommend I read? Because I'm always looking for a new good book to read, and so please leave those books suggestions down below as we cover the ones I'm going to share with you today, because we can all, this community, it's for all of us to share our knowledge, share our wisdom in one spot and continue to grow the community and help others develop wealth. So please leave your book suggestions down below. The next book I'm going to be sharing with you is considered to be the best investment book ever written. And that's at least the opinion of many people online. Now, I don't fully follow that opinion. I think it's a wonderful book. I think it's a great book, but I don't know if I would consider it, at least for me, the best book on investments ever written, but it is very thorough, and that is the book. It's called The Intelligent Investor, written by Benjamin Graham. Now, for those of you who who are just coming on board to investing and trying to learn this whole stock market thing, investing for yourself, building your retirement and things like that, Benjamin Graham, if you don't know who he is the person who taught Warren Buffett how to invest. And this book is written by him. And he has other books previous to this that go back far back, that are maybe like 40 years old, 50 years old, maybe even 60 years old. I'm not sure how far back some of his books go. But this book was published or republished in 1991. So, but the original book, the original edition of this probably is, I don't even know. It's probably like 40 years old, if I'm being honest with you. But I think this is, let's see, how many pages? There's so close to 600 pages of investment knowledge written in this book. And what makes this book so profound, so helpful, is that the entire book is a walkthrough of different case studies that cover various industries of the economy, whether it be utilities, technology, finding value in investments, finding investments at a good price. There's a very detailed analysis method that Benjamin Graham used to use in determining what to invest in, and those are the criteria and the methods that he provided to Warren Buffett when he was teaching Warren Buffett how to invest, or while Buffett studied his methods. Now, we live in such a different economy now, a different society now than when this book was written, and then when all of these books were written, if I'm being honest. But I think the methods, if you look at the overall concept, if you understand the overall analysis techniques in here and the overall concepts and processes, I think you can still extract a lot of valuable information. But in terms of finding what he considered to be a reasonable price when investing, it's kind of off the table in today's numbers, because as we know, if you've been investing and you follow the news, the Fed, the stock market we invest in now is highly manipulated by the Federal Reserve and money printing and pumping up the stock market. So it really distorts the values of what people are trying to invest in. So that's why I think there's some limitations to the analysis methods presented in this book. But if you understand the overall concept of the process of selecting good companies, using certain criteria when analyzing each investment, then from that standpoint, you can still find that very useful in today's economy and today's markets, and I think you can take a lot away from this book. I think you're going to find this on Amazon. I haven't looked at the price, but it's probably around $20 if I'm guessing online. This last book is the book I'm actually most excited about sharing with you. And for me personally, this is my all-time favorite book on investing that I've ever read. I found that I was able to extract the most value out of this book more than any other book I've ever read on investing, because it is so well-rounded. It covers everything from technical analysis to fundamental analysis to picking company stocks to choosing ETFs, mutual funds, the whole 9 yards. Not only that, the book is loaded with actual stock charts and graphs, and the charts have notes on them to really help you learn how to read charts to a degree and to use them when picking stocks. So you're getting a really extensive education on investing for probably $20 or less on Amazon from this book. The book is called How to Make Money in Stocks, and this is written by William J. O'Neill. I've had several people ask me what books I recommend, and the two books I always recommend to anybody getting into investing is How to Make Money in Stocks and Buffettology. The two together will give you enough overview and there's some crossover in terms of the knowledge that you'll find within the pages of these books, but that crossover is just going to help basically reinforce what you've been reading and help you even further take that knowledge and apply it, the application portion, to your investment analysis when you're choosing what to invest your hard-earned money in. It really gives you a process, gives you criteria to run with so you can be more successful. Not really sure how well you can see that, but there's over 50 pages of examples of stock charts alone of how to locate some of the best investments of all time. The book lays out a nice, detailed, step-by-step process for identifying the key factors to look at when you're choosing an investment to invest in, so that you don't waste your time sorting through information that's really not necessary and really won't provide the value you need with the limited amount of time you have to do the research. The book talks about when to hold a stock versus when to sell a stock versus when to buy a stock. One thing the book does refer to is that I have not read in another book is it actually gives you some sort of an idea of what to look for in newer companies as well. Not just old companies that have been around for 100+ years, but also how to identify trending, hot, new investments to choose your money in that may be successful, and what criteria, what factors to look for, what to look for in the management, the numbers, the product, and all of that. So that was kind of a cool spin that I did not expect in this book that I'm not finding in these other books. This book in itself is over 400 pages long, and that's how much of a knowledge bomb you're going to be receiving when you read this book. If you read, so this book is 400+ pages, this book is 300+ pages, and this book by Benjamin Graham is about 600 pages. So you got about 1,300 pages roughly of investment knowledge to keep you warm at night.
Dominating!
They're not extremely hard to read. Now, Buffettology has a lot of mathematical examples, so take your time with it. Take notes is how I would recommend reading this book. That's what I did, is I actually took out some binder paper with a pen and pencil, and I started writing my notes. And as I was going through each chapter, in order to really extract the value, as I read it, I wanted to be writing it out by hand, at least the formulas and calculations, so I could truly understand how the math was being performed. Same thing is true with The Intelligent Investor. There's a lot of analysis that goes into it. So it's a book you'll want to truly study. In fact, now this book reads like a textbook. This book doesn't feel as much like a textbook. And in terms of not feeling like a textbook, this book does not feel like a textbook when you're reading it. But the other two I mentioned do. And I found this one was the easiest to read. It had a lot of visuals that were really easy to comprehend, and it kept me motivated. It kept my attention most of the way through, which is really, actually, if you think about it, when you're reading something that's really technical, it's hard to do. Because some of the concepts in this book, in The Intelligent Investor, it's really dry. It can be a very dry read. While with this book, it gave me examples, it gave me calculations, it gave me visuals, but it did it in a way that was entertaining and in a way that I could more easily comprehend than some of the stuff I found in this book. So those are some of the books I just wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you find these helpful. If you're new to investing, or whether you've been investing for a while, if you've never read these books, I strongly encourage you to read them. They are going to teach you a lot about investing and give you an analysis process that, in a comfort with investing, you might not have had before. We can all go out, including myself. I can watch YouTube videos all day long, and I can have these different YouTubers tell me what stocks to buy, what ETFs to buy, this and that and the other. But if you don't have the education, the backing of what they're saying means, then you could be leading yourself down the wrong path. And your knowledge is going to help you truly develop that wealth for you and your family, and so that you understand what you're getting yourself into. You understand what earnings per share means, what earnings growth, what the growth rate per share means, and how to really analyze a company in a different way without actually being a real financial advisor or without being an actual stock analyst. I think all these books will arm you enough to be dangerous to do your own investing and to do it consistently. And especially when you're watching YouTube videos, I think after you've read these books, or just books in general on investing, I think you're going to have a more comprehensive knowledge, and you're going to be able to extract more information from those videos, which is great. And so these are the books I recommend you guys read. Check them out. I'll link them below. And if you liked today's video, I hope you drop a like to support the channel. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, because I'll have more videos coming out on finances, investing, and taxes. Once again, be sure to hit that bell notification icon by the subscribe button. Otherwise, YouTube will not notify you every time I release new content. And lastly, leave your comments, questions down below. That's my favorite part of doing YouTube, is interacting with all of you. Until then, have a wonderful week, everybody. Live life uncaged, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.